So today I wanted to share with you something that we say in coaching a lot, and it's that your brain wants to be right more than it wants you to feel good. And I have a story to kind of show you what I'm talking about with this. And it has to do with my 8-year-old son. So I bought a game, Just Dance, for my Nintendo Switch. And I was like, oh, this will be a fun way for us to get moving a little bit and do something together as a family. And so the first night we had it, we played it. We did the kid version. Everyone, is dancing and moving. And then, of course, like all games, they keep a score. And we all ended up with 5 stars on our score because, we're awesome dancers like that. Totally just kidding. But my son's score was the lowest out of all 4 of us, and our 5 stars that we got all turned rainbow because we hit some score that made that happen, and his didn't turn rainbow. Okay, so this was our first dance on the kids version, and he saw that. He's very detail oriented. He's picked stuff out like that very quickly, and he realized he was the only one that didn't get rainbow stars. So then he had a thought, I'm the worst dancer. And his brain latched onto it and he believed it. So he didn't really want to play anymore, but we encouraged him, like, come on, it's not about the score, it's just for fun, we're doing this together as a family, you need to do it with us. And so, kind of begrudgingly against his will, he continued to do, I think there was like 8 songs in the sequence, and he did them all with us, which was impressive, even though he was, feeling so upset about it. But he was doing it like not really trying. He's like barely moving. His face is all distorted and grumpy, and he's really not enjoying it at all. He's not trying his hardest. And then most every song he continued to score, the lowest score. Probably because he wasn't trying, right? Because he has that thought of, I'm the worst dancer, which is leading him to feel embarrassed. And so his actions from that is he's barely moving, he has a poor attitude, he's not trying his hardest. So he's preventing himself from, being the dancer that he could be if he wanted to, and preventing himself from having fun. So he actually ended up having the highest score on one of the songs. And then I think there was another one where he did get his stars to rainbow. So he reached whatever that points bracket was where his stars did rainbow. And there was another one I think that he got 2nd place on. So, out of the 8 songs, there were 3 that he scored higher. And so we finished all of them. We're done. We're getting ready for bed. And he is just like completely melting down. He's so upset. He's crying. And so I sit down with him and I'm trying to talk to him and tell him, like, what's going on? Or ask him, what's going on? Why are you so upset? It's just a game. And I realized, like, first I needed to just allow him to feel the feeling and for him to recognize what it was and address it in his body before we could move into any kind of productive dialogue about this. Because, when you're feeling an emotion so intensely, the last thing you want to do is to hear how you can solve for it. Like, you're like, just let me be sad, kind of. So we went through it and I asked him, what are you feeling? And he said, bad. And I said, okay, what's it feel like in your body? And he told me, like, he had a knot in his stomach, his throat was kind of tight, his face felt hot, embarrassment. That's what he was feeling. That's what he was describing to me. And so we walked through and, like, is it moving in your body? Does it have a color? All that stuff, just bringing awareness, separating his brain and his body from what's happening, like helping him to become the watcher of what's going on inside his body instead of being so entranced in it in his mind of, like, this is terrible. So we did that for a few minutes, and then I asked him, do you want to know something? He's like, what? I said, do you know that feeling of embarrassment is coming from the thought that you keep telling me of you think you're the worst dancer? And he was like, I don't know. And so it was fine. I was like, and we just talked about it. We just talked it out of when I think the thought, I'm the worst dancer and I feel embarrassed. And then we went into how, that was showing up and how he was playing the game. And then I reminded him that he actually won one of the songs. And not only did he win one, but he also had the rainbow stars on another song. And he came in like second place on a different one. And I was like, but you have that belief. You've believed that thought, I'm the worst dancer. But what about this evidence that you're not? You literally came in first place on one of them. Like, actual proof that you are not the worst dancer. He couldn't go for it though. Even me telling him, like, don't you remember this actually happened? Like, I didn't just make it up. This isn't just me trying to make you feel better. This literally happened. You literally came in first place. But his brain was not having it because it wanted to be right. It was holding on to that belief. I'm the worst dancer. And that's all he kept telling me over and over. No, Mom, I'm the worst dancer. I'm the worst dancer. And I just told him that's okay. You can believe that thought if you want. I'm not trying to take it from you. Like, you can have it. I showed you the evidence that you're not the worst dancer. We worked through your feeling. That feeling of embarrassment is what you're trying to avoid by thinking I'm the worst dancer. Because you're thinking, oh, I just won't dance anymore because I don't want to feel embarrassed. But what you're doing is actually feeling that embarrassment right now. Your brain is trying to protect you with this thought, but all it's doing is creating pain right now. And that pain is totally optional because you don't have to believe that you're the worst dancer. What's the upside of believing that? And he is my very logical, very independent, smart, that kind of personality. And so I knew he wasn't going to accept it while we were talking about it. And so that's what I told him. It's like, okay, I'm not taking your story from you. You get to believe whatever you want. But I just want you to know that thought, I'm the worst dancer, is what's creating you to feel embarrassed, which is making your stomach have a knot in it, making your face hot, and all those feelings that you described to me. I said, if you tried on a thought, even if it was just a small shift of maybe I'm not the worst dancer, it would create a completely different feeling. I said, but I'm going to leave that with you, and you can think about it while you're going to bed and decide what you want to do. So he stomped away and was upset and went and brushed his teeth and got in bed. And then before we all go to bed at night, we get together and we have prayer and we rotate like who's going to pray. And whoever's going to pray for the night, everyone tells them one thing they love about that person. And so that night was my night that I was going to pray. So he wanted to go first to tell me what he loved about me. And he told me, I love that you tried to comfort me so much, that you were there for me, that you helped me feel my feelings. And I mean, he said a lot more stuff I'm summarizing, and then the end of it was, and I don't think I'm the worst dancer. And I was like, awesome. How do you feel now? He's like, so much better. His brain was able to let go of that thought of I'm the worst dancer. And so I told him, like, isn't it amazing that nothing changed? You still got the same scores you did on that game, on the different levels, but now you feel better than you did before. All because you chose to change the thought of I'm the worst dancer to maybe I'm not the worst dancer. Absolutely amazing. My camera is falling. My phone must be very heavy. I apologize. But absolutely amazing. Our brains are so powerful, and our thoughts create our feelings. And yeah, so if you're having a feeling you don't want to have, look at the thought that's creating it. Nothing changed in his circumstance. Nothing changed. I couldn't go back and change his score. I couldn't go back and make him get rainbow stars on all the levels. But his thought changed. And because his thought changed, he had a new feeling, which is going to create a new action for him, which lately has been every single day he has come and asked to dance with me when I'm doing another dance game. I haven't said, hey, let's do this. Hey, you need to be doing this. This is our family activity. I've done it myself, and he's just come up and said, can I dance with you? Absolutely amazing. Our brains are so powerful. They want to be right more than they want us to feel better. It's okay. Nothing's gone wrong. But you get to check. You get to decide. Is that thought serving you? Do you want to keep it? Because all the thoughts are optional. Have a great day.